What's up, bud? It's Rob. This is Apparel Success, and in this video right now, what I want to talk to you about is how every clothing brand owner starts from scratch, okay? You don't have celebrity endorsements, you don't have a lot of sales coming in, and in this video here, I want to talk to you about the raw skills that you need to have as a clothing brand owner in order to actually attain those things like consistent sales coming in and celebrity and influencer endorsements, okay? So this video here, I'm really going to talk to you about the foundational skills that you need to have that will just make it a lot easier for you to actually end up achieving the level of success that you want. This video is gonna be great. Here it is. This video here is sponsored by my buds over at BrandCrowd, and if you need designs made for your clothing brand, I highly recommend that you check out BrandCrowd. BrandCrowd has a tool called the Logo Maker tool, which is where they have a huge library of professionally designed logos that are fully customizable. So you can add your own fonts, your own layout to it. All of that is free to try. Once you decide that you actually like the logo, you can decide to purchase it and remove it from the marketplace entirely. If you're interested, follow the link in the description below because it'll give you 35% off at checkout. All right, so what really inspired me to make this video for you is that for about the first 6 months or so, when I started up my clothing brand, I didn't have a strategy in place, but even more importantly than that, I wasn't really implementing anything on a regular basis, okay? I didn't have the skill of doing boring, rudimentary tasks over and over again in order to get results. And what ended up happening was after those first 6 months, I realized that, whatever I was doing wasn't getting any results. So I needed to actually change it up and put in place something that would allow me to get some results. And so what happened was after those 6 months, the following 6 months, I probably put in the most work, even to date, that I've ever put in on my clothing brand. I was going so hard. It was like 14-hour days while I was working another job. I was working Instagram all day long. And I mean like all day long. Basically only taking breaks so that, Instagram wouldn't like ban me. And other than that, I was just working, I was DMing, I was sending out emails, I was doing everything I possibly could. And for those 6 months, the growth of the brand was so big because I was putting in so much work over, 6 months, which is a long period of time to be doing that every single day. And I noticed a crazy amount of results. Now, what happened after that is I reached a point where, we were getting some momentum. We got those celebrities and influencers. And, we reached a point where everything was feeling great and it sort of allowed me to slack off a bit, okay? And what happened was when I slacked off a bit, and I didn't necessarily slack off entirely, but it was like, well, I don't need to put in that same amount of hustle that I put in at the beginning because, now we have some momentum and I can kind of slow down and focus on other things. And what happened was actually the growth of the brand started to slow down again, okay? And it's still growing, but obviously the growth of your brand is only going to grow as much as you're putting in the work to allow it to grow. So when you stop, putting your foot on the gas like that, you'll notice the results are going to start to change in your clothing brand. And you're going to notice that the growth starts to slow down. And then once you put your foot on the gas again, the growth will start to go up. And what this did really is it made me realize that there's really going to be no point inside my clothing brand where I can just chill and take it easy and just relax, okay? Because as long as you stop working, your clothing brand is just gonna start settling down and it's gonna stop growing, okay? So as long as your foot is on the gas and you're really pushing at it, your clothing brand's gonna keep growing. And it's basically a direct correlation between the amount you're working and the amount of work that you're putting in and the results that you're able to get from your clothing brand. I was reading inside of the closed Facebook group recently and somebody posted, they said, what is the best way to get consistent sales for my clothing brand? And I was thinking about that, and I think what's underneath that question, the mindset that's underneath that question is, what can I do right now to just start getting consistent sales immediately? And really, that's never going to happen, okay? You can't just go from a place of not having any sales, at all right now, to all of a sudden just making consistent sales on a daily basis because of one simple tweak that you're making. It really is a grind, and you have to build up your customer base slowly, all right? So I'm just trying to give you a very real look into how exactly this thing works. And one of the main raw skills that you need to have as a clothing brand owner is having that long-term vision for your brand, okay? And being patient because, it may take you 6 months to a year to actually gain those first bit of customers. And then obviously, hopefully it should start speeding up after that. And obviously there are points where it starts to go really quickly. And then you'll notice months where, things start to slow down. But generally this whole thing of, what's the best way to market my clothing brand right now so I can get results right now for my clothing brand? that's just not a very realistic approach to how you should be running your clothing brand. You want to be doing this in a way where you're growing over time, and just accept and realize that it's going to take time for you to grow this, and that is 100% okay. Now, let's back up a sec here, and I'm going to answer the question very clearly in terms of what is the best way to make consistent sales for your clothing brand. If you're looking to make them as quickly as possible, right now, even to try and make it happen right now, the best way is honestly to focus on those boring rudimentary tasks, like going on Instagram and just working it on a daily basis and not taking time off to, go hang out or do something else. Just do it over and over again and sit there and put in that work and do the thing that most people aren't willing to do, okay? So those boring rudimentary tasks over and over again, engaging with people on Instagram, finding your target audience, tweaking your brand. And the next thing that I want to talk about is detail orientation. You could be doing all of that work on a daily basis, putting in as much work as you want, but as long as the details aren't covered on your website or on your Instagram account, good luck getting people to actually buy from your website. And I realize this video is coming across as like super harsh and dark, but maybe some of you guys need it. And I think that, that's basically the mindset that I'm in right now, is that nobody owes me anything. Let's get out there, let's get after it, and let's create something of value. And the way to do that is by, just putting in the work, because if you're not putting in the work, nobody owes you anything, and you're not going to get it at the end of the day anyways, okay? So focus on those boring rudimentary tasks and then the detail orientation of your website, of your Instagram page, and keep tweaking that brand to make it as perfectly whole and in harmony as possible. Now, this next skill is really at the core of why people don't get results with their clothing brand and whether they do get results with their clothing brand, which is that you need to have faith, okay, and believe 100% in whichever process you're following to get results in your clothing brand, okay? So whatever it is that you're putting in place, you need to have faith from the beginning that if I put this in place long enough, I'm going to get results. So imagine you're going through a diet, right? You're starting up a diet and you're following a plan and you do it for 2 weeks and you don't notice that you haven't lost 10 pounds yet, but the diet was working, right? It's only been 2 weeks. The diet was working and it was definitely going to get to that point, but you say, oh, after 2 weeks, you know what? It's not working, I'm gonna give up. And you never see the results ever. And you end up creating this belief in your head that whatever it is, process that you were following, whatever diet that was just a bad diet, when really it was because you just didn't do it long enough, okay? You didn't stick with that process long enough. You didn't have faith in that process. And everything that I'm sharing with you here about what to do on Instagram, work Instagram for say 3 months and really just engage with your target audience for 3 months over and over again. Just really hammer it. And everything that I teach in that online course that has allowed me to build my brand to over 6 figures, okay? Everything, it's getting me results, right? So it really gives you a reason to buy in. But most people, when they do this, they'll only do it for say 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then they're like, you know what, I've only gained like 50 followers or 100 followers. This is stupid, it's not working. Then they give up, and then they say, well, he just must not be teaching the right thing. When at the end of the day, it takes time to grow something. It takes time to get the results. And, as long as you have faith in that process and you're able to do it long enough, you will get results. So what I'm sharing with you here is the reality of success, okay, and what it takes to become successful. And it may not be what you want to hear. It may hit your ears in this ugly way where you just want to learn that thing that you can put in place for your clothing brand right now that will allow you to gain like an insane amount of success immediately. But at the end of the day, this is also the thing that most people shield their eyes from, okay? They can't see it because it's too harsh, it's too real for them to actually implement in their own lives, that they're gonna actually have to do this for a while and have faith in themselves and believe in the process and stick to something for a long period of time. But the beauty of sharing this with you is that when you actually put this in place, you're actually going to be able to get results eventually, okay? And you're gonna also build your self-esteem because you're going to be doing things that actually allow you to trust yourself and know that you can stick at something for a long amount of time and have faith in something that you believe in. And that feeling is just so important to have. I hope you like this video here. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you haven't already, check out my free clothing brand marketing masterclass video. It's 100% free to watch. All you have to do to get access is go to www.apparelsuccess.com/masterclass. You can watch the whole thing for free. And if you've made it to this point in the video, I want to let you know about the closed Facebook group that we have going on for Apparel Success. There's a link in the description below. Follow that link. Join us in the Facebook group. We're a bunch of clothing brand owners all in there to support each other and answer each other's questions. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Peace. Lay back, get relaxed, and just lock in and soak up all this information. When new visitors come to your account, the first thing that they're gonna do is read your bio to find out exactly who you are and what you do. Say you reach 20,000 followers on Instagram and you get some celebrities and influencers, then you'll reach a certain point where you can finally leverage that. Like some of these celebrities, it's just like, sure bro, I'm down. Send me whatever you want, thanks a lot. Like you can just tell that, you know, they don't really wanna be formal about stuff like this. And I'm going to show you in the next upcoming modules the very strategic and systematic way that you can go about doing it. I'm really excited to show you. I'm gonna show you right now exactly what to do to implement this system for yourself, and let's crack into it right now. What I'm doing here is I'm guiding you into the light. I'm gonna show you exactly how to grow up your account from the very beginning if you don't have anything to leverage. It just constantly keeps growing because as long as you're putting in the work, as long as the strategy's there, you will get results over time. You will get there. If you put all this in place that I'm about to share with you, you will get there. I'm really excited for you to do this.